Hello, everyone, and welcome, Paul, to Talk of the Town. Really happy to have you here today. Now, I know for a fact that our audience, if they've been paying attention long enough, they do know your face, they know your voice, and you have kind of come back in a new engineered and revised role. So really excited to have you back, not just here on Talk of the Town, but back at the company. Really glad you decided to come and join us, but in a very different capacity. So welcome. How are you?
I'm great, Jeremy. Thank you. How are you? It's great to be back.
Good. So a little bit about your new role, if you would, just so people can kind of get a grasp for, what you're coming back here at Towne Housing to do.
Yeah. So my title is Director of Investor Acquisitions and Sales. And essentially what I'm doing is helping Towne Housing property management clients who either want to invest and buy more real estate or perhaps sell existing assets and hopefully purchase new ones. So I'm acting as a liaison to those individuals, as well as doing some work with the brokerage, helping newer agents and things like that.
Yeah, which is really awesome. It's something we've never had at Towne, and I mainly blame myself because I'm a little paranoid. I'm actually a lot paranoid about my client list, and I don't think there's anyone I'd trust really to do this job and to do it as well as I know you are doing it. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate your confidence in me.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you've got tons of experience. So would you mind just sharing for the audience, some of your background in real estate?
Well, now I'm I think over 15 years licensed as a real estate broker in New York as well as New Jersey. My experience goes back to working in New York City. Got a lot of leadership experience mixed in there. So I've always found it interesting, the opportunity to lead others and to share my experiences and to help other people grow their careers. So this is a nice hybrid role where I get to work as a salesperson, a traditional salesperson, realtor role, but making more of a B2B connection with people who are really looking to monetize their real estate as opposed to just buying a house to live in. So that's exciting. And of course, I always enjoy the opportunity to work with newer agents and help them build their careers as well.
Yeah, I know. Just yesterday, you stepped in the office into a training. So, you used to be our office manager, and you were always leading the trainings and guiding education and recruiting and onboarding new agents. How does the day-to-day, look now compared to previously when you were at Towne Housing?
Well, things, move so move so quickly in real estate in our business now, and I could not have led yesterday's meeting. I'll say that. So both Allison and James, they're, infinitely more knowledgeable on like the marketing side of the business than I am, and social media and AI and things like that. So that was just, really neat to hear some things that were completely new to me. So I enjoy learning, and that was great. Day to day, I'm focused on adding value to Towne Housing property management clients. And I don't know if anybody else who was part of the brokerage, Towne Housing real estate brokerage, that is, had that same focus. So I think I'm carving out a unique and different role. So the day-to-day is evolving, I would say.
Yeah, no, 100%.
A lot of regular real estate activity, of course, setting up appointments and putting together a comparative analysis and going to see property, talking to brokers on the other side of transactions, of course, but, also a lot of new things that I've got to kind of figure out workflows for.
Yeah, we've been kind of cutting our teeth, both of us, in this role because something, you've not done for Towne and I've never had at Towne. So it's been fun to kind of take a whiteboard and try and come at this from a different perspective. I know in a very short amount of time, I'd say in 2-3 weeks, I think, like I said a minute ago, I think you've become one of the top 5 busiest people in the company. It kind of took off like a bat out of hell, and you've got dozens of different individuals looking to either buy or to sell, and a couple portfolios on deck and exciting projects. So, I know you're integrating slowly into some of the remodel operations where you can not only just offer an investor your insights as a broker, but also, our construction team can kind of jump in and help analyze and assess opportunities. So it's been fun for me to watch. I hope it's been equally as fun for you continue to work and execute on that plan, and really excited for the future.
Yeah, it's been telescoping rather quickly. The scope of work has been increasing. I do think it's a tremendous value add for townhousing property management clients to have a realtor that's within the company and understands their portfolio and what their opportunities are and maybe where their liabilities are, and can help them with that. And I also think that for a potential investor to be able to bring somebody like Ryan or Randall, for a property visit and let them know, what a scope of work might look like for, let's say buying a 4-family and how much, money we're going to have to put into this to make it viable and to maximize the opportunity. That's great, because otherwise, if you're working at another real estate company, then that's another person you've got to engage with, and they're probably not in line and in sync with the realtor. So it just makes it a very seamless process. That's the idea.
Yeah.
And that's what we're moving towards. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot to execute too. A lot of variables, a lot of moving pieces, but your past experience with town housing, kind of makes you the perfect guy for the job, because you have these pre-existing relationships with these individuals in town housing. So I think it allowed us to ramp up quickly and integrate you, faster than probably anyone else could have. Going to more market level, what are your thoughts on the Buffalo market from an investor's perspective? And, do you still see value and potential? New York State's a bit of a stringent state when it comes to policy and some of the rights involved in investors.
Yeah, I mean, I still see value and I still see potential. I think that you have to probably dig a little deeper and work a little harder to find it. I do think a lot of the opportunity lies in buying an asset and adding value to it through, things like, maybe adding an additional unit or adding bathrooms, sort of adding to what you're getting. I think if you're trying to buy a turnkey property, particularly in a city like Buffalo, and maybe some of the inner ring suburbs, you may be challenged to find that property and squeeze enough rental income out of it. I think the moratoriums on short-term rentals is probably putting a lot of people who have invested in Buffalo real estate in the last couple of years maybe in the red, because they're just not going to get the rental income that they thought they were going to get out of them. So I don't know if that's going to bring a flood of new inventory to market. I do know that tomorrow, for example, I am showing a home that is an existing Airbnb, and I just wonder if those individuals are choosing to sell now, assuming that the salad days are over and they're not going to get the same income out. So I think the opportunity still exists. We are still one of the most affordable markets in the country, if not the most affordable. We do have a housing stock with a lot of multifamily assets in it. Perhaps some of the outlying areas in West New York might be a little bit more profitable. I think that's why we see a lot of activity in places like Rochester and Lockport and Niagara Falls, as opposed to the city of Buffalo. Yet I do think that, for a savvy investor, there's a lot to be offered.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So with the new year just behind us, what are some of the goals you have individually in your career as a real estate associate broker, but also your time back at town housing, and where do you see taking this department in a sense? You're kind of first man on the moon over here. So what do you see and what are your goals in the new year?
I think the goals are to make sure that I'm adding value for the property management clients at a high level. And to continue to sort of expand my skill set, to work closely with the construction side, because that's definitely an area where I have been a little bit less knowledgeable than I feel like I need to be. So I really just want to make this year, lay the foundation this year for the coming years. I see this as a long-term growth opportunity. So yeah, it's probably more about process than personal profit for me this year. Although I do hope to, make a few dollars right in the meanwhile. But it is more about helping others achieve what they need to. I've always thought that, the way to succeed is to give back and to provide as much value to others. So in this particular role, I think that's even just magnified.
Well, as you always have done since the day you joined Towne, you've always lived the mission and drove the values and drove the mission of this company. And I think your comment of process over profit is speaks to that. And oddly enough, one of my favorite businessmen to watch and one of my idols is the CEO of Delta. And he, during COVID, said, people over profits. And that's what made that company so strong. So you echo one of my favorite people in the business space.
Didn't even plan that, Jeremy.
I could tell when you said it. I'm like, yeah, he has no idea how close he was on that. But
I remember that. I remember that.
Process over profit. I like that. That's your motto.
Yeah, and they were one of the few
motto in my mind.
And they were one of the few airlines. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, not to go off on a complete tangent. That actually did well, right? During COVID, expanded their offerings. Yeah.
People over profits, but process over profits here. And I think really quickly you'll iron that out. And I look forward to helping you. And yeah, sky's the limit. No pun intended.
Well, thank you.
So thank you for joining us.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Jeremy. All right, bye.